Good morning, folks. NC4XL, North Carolina for extreme lovers. And I'm not just dumb. Today's video, first of all, I don't own anybody's position as far as doing videos. It's something in self because let's just make it simple. The days are short. So what I have to offer when I'm gone hopefully will be a benefit for those that have been behind me. The conversation is going to start out is POTA contesting and will probably end up elsewhere. But I wanted to let you know that in advance so that if you don't want to watch the rest of it, you can hang up now. Or you can follow along and see how this old man interprets it. You and I are so dependent upon electricity and the internet and many other people to provide for us services. We recently had an issue in Florida, and it happens every year at hurricane season or in the Midwest during tornado season, and into the northern parts of the company where they get extremely cold weather, blizzards, and so forth. And people like you and me, we are ham radio operators, licensed, and we perform emergency commo or emergency communications services for free with our own equipment to provide for our family and friends and the communities some means of communicating. When Big Brother shuts the power off, you and I still can operate. When Big Brother shuts the internet off, you and I can still operate. Contest. It's not a contest to make contacts. It's not the same report 5959 where you barely hear them. It's not that you're going to be number one in the nation, number one with battery power, number one with 300 watts, number one. Who cares? We're not in a contest. So the Warwick bands are not affected when we go out POTA or Parks on the Air. But during contest time, the Warwick bands are a great place for us to spread our wings because the other bands are slam full of 1,000, 1,500 watts, 200-foot towers, and so forth. Yes, I'm over-exaggerating, but everybody's in a pile-up to make that one contact, and before you know what happened, there's 16 more contacts been made, and you just realized you work somebody, have no idea who they are or where they're at, only where they say they're at. We run from, we'll go to Kevin, K0KLB, milliwatts, and there's several others, and I apologize, I don't recognize their or remember their call signs. In the milliwatts to 1 watt, to 2 watts, to 5 watts, to 10 watts, and 20 watts. And we go QRO, hello, I'm going to run about 80 to 90 watts. I figure is about what's getting out the end of the antenna with a 1 to 1.2 SWR and what I use. And I am not the only person, but my opportunity, not a contest, is to test a couple abilities, okay? And these are for you too. If you're an activator, if you're a hunter, you're assisting us because it takes both sides. But as an activator, I'm setting up a compromised antenna, okay? It's on a tripod. It's on a mag mount or a tri-mag mount. It's on a buddy stick. It's hanging in the tree 40 feet, 60 feet, 80 feet, 100 feet is hanging down from a tower. A 100-foot tower that you climbed up, and the antenna's just hanging down, vertical, but hanging down. Our antennas are compromised. The counterposes are the coax or additional radials or things of that nature, okay? So what we have to do is remember, we're set up, oh, yeah, emergency power. We're not plugged into the wall. We're not dependent on Big Brother to produce the energy needed to get our radios or transmitters to transmit. We are totally independent. Now, some of us, we can go to a park where we're fortunate and have electricity. But the thing is they turn it off, so what? We still can talk. It's not a contest. We're making contacts to test where we can on what bands, 40, 20, 15, 17, 12, 30, 6 meters. Many of you don't try there, and I'll be one of the first ones to tell you, I don't try there. I've tried 60, I'm not pleased with it. It didn't perform for the footprint that I have to put it up unless I stay for 2 or 3 days or something. I can't justify for me to put one up. Now, with myself, I don't use a tuner. And there's nothing wrong with using a tuner. But I'm not trying to fool my radio to understanding how much power and the Ohm's law and all this kind of. I just cut an antenna and make it resonant. I tune it with the analyzer. What's an analyzer? It's a device to make sure that the impedance matches on the frequency that you're going to be within, plus or minus. So I can go out, no electricity. I can use compromised antennas from ham sticks to, some people are putting G5RVs up. Awesome. Inverted Vs, LVs. And we can play. We can provide services at times of need. But while we're practicing, did you hear that? While we're practicing our setups, while we're practicing our operating of our equipment, while we're practicing changing the antennas from one type to the other, we get to play. That's our reward. Okay? Practicing contacts, not a challenge, not to see who's going to be number one, not to get points for doing it. That's the part you have to remember about Parks on the Air. It is not a contest. The only rewards that any activators get come from you guys and gals on the other side of this video, very simply. If you contact us, I get to send a login. You don't have to send a login. If you contact us, I get to play with the bugs out here. You don't have to play with the bugs. If you contact us, I get to go find a portable potty. There is none out here, but you got one at home. So remember that when you hunters are working us, we appreciate you. We need you. You help justify what we do. You help us feel great inside that the 45 minutes it took to put up the antenna was well worth the time. Today I had a chance on the radio while I was preparing mentally this video. I got on 14336. I had worked John this morning in Florida. KN4SWS. And I'd worked England, a park to park, not park to park. He was in a park this morning while I was in the car because I do work out of the car. But I worked another gentleman. I just decided to call CQ on that frequency because it had been dead for a while and John was gone off of it. And I got a contact. Another, did you hear this, what I'm going to say? POTA hunter, POTA activator, who just happened to be on the frequency listening. And we had a contact that turned into a QSO because we weren't in parks. And that's the other side of amateur radio, folks, and that's really where I'm going right now. Parks on the Air is an awesome facet of what we do, but being able to communicate with people and talk with more than a 5559 signal report, but to talk about antennas, to talk about the counties, talk about how many contacts are our achievement levels that we worked at, but to have something other than just a contact. Remember that in your amateur radio. Don't get so wrapped up and burn up on doing, I got to do POTA, POTA, POTA. I love POTA with all my heart. Otherwise, I wouldn't do all these videos on it, okay? But there comes a time where you have to sit back, smell the roses, and go talk to somebody about something different. I didn't say go away from it. I'm saying expand your horizon. And you can do that with other Parks on the Air people that are just like you and me who want to have a QSO. It's kind of hard having a QSO in a CW activation. It's kind of hard to have a QSO when I'm out running and I'm shooting for 300, and I'm going to tell you guys and gals, those who are listening, I'm shooting for another 300 a day. Why? Just to see if it was a fluke the one time that I did run it. I'm tooting my horn because I'm proud of that. I was flipping worn out, but I didn't do any of it except receive it. And that means you hunters that took the time to follow the spotting page and know how I work with my logging, how first is last and last is first. That means the first person that hollers I may write down, but they'll be the last person I talk to because I'm going to work them on paper backwards. That's Dom. That's how Dom does it. You get used to this activator and you'll know that, oh, he'll be there for a little bit. I'll be right back. You don't have to wait on me. I wait on you. As an activator, we are dependent on you hunters. And just so you know, 100 people at 5.9 signal is a pile of crap. And you can't decipher. And if you're running a laptop trying to type in something, it don't work. So I use paper and always will. When Mike's with me, and he's logging on the computer, and there's two of us, okay? When Steve's with me, and he's logging on the computer, there's two of us. Or Tim. I run paper, but so does Mike. So does Steve. They'll write partial calls too. Because we both have ears and we both listen differently and hear different audio characteristics so we can work together. That's how we accomplish it. That's what I wanted to talk about today was, it's not a contest, guys and gals. Don't treat it like a contest. I don't look at my idiot meter to see, did it say 5.7 or 5.9? No, I use this. I use that. That's my meter. If I have to, sometimes when somebody is very loud, I'll look down and say, well, that scale's broke. But I give you what I hear, not what you want me to hear. Okay? And if you're a 5.2, well, then you're a 5.2. And I would rather have an honest report instead of a contest report. And I did say that. Contest report are always 5.9 because you just keep hitting the tab key and you don't worry about what report goes in there because you're not concerned. You're only looking for numbers and you hope that you never hear those people again unless it says dupe across your computer. I want to hear from each one of you again. I want to become closer as far as a ham operator to a ham operator. And I think that's what POTA has done for me. I have now, when I hear a call sign, I know a name, and I'm not looking at a computer, folks. It's making this brain work. I'm actually memorizing the name that goes with the call sign. And that's part of what we do. that's my little spill today. I wanted to talk about this, and I was given a little jump start coming home from one of my stops I had to make, and I got on 14336, and JDA. We talked. We had a conversation. We had fun. And we'll both go to the spotting page and we'll see who's out there and we'll go try to work them. I'm going to bring up spotting page before I go. I really am. For those of you that use the spotting page, if you're new and you haven't figured it out, here's a little secret. It's not a secret, it's a hint to help me. Me being any activator. If you see a spot for a call and they're in their park, you got that information. So that's real simple for CW. Go work them CW. You got the park, you got the call, you're good to go on the frequency. But go down to the bottom of that page, to that little screen that's open, and see where it says history. I want you to click on it. And what I'm wanting you to do is I'm wanting you to look down to see if there shows 2 parks or 2 operators. And if there happens to be 2 parks or 2 operators and it gives you call signs or park numbers, help the activator. Really, help the activator. Write that down on a piece of paper, and when you respot them, put that information in there to help them, because the next person that spots, that information is going to be gone. That's one of the fallacies of the spotting page, and I don't know how they can fix that if they can. The thing is, you can help us activators by spotting that information. When I go out to a twofer, if you know I'm in a twofer, my first initial spot is going to show that I'm in a twofer and I'm with somebody or without. So if you go down to that little history and you click on it, you'll be able to see if there's any additional information that you might be able to assist. Remember, hunters, you would be really bored sitting around waiting for nothing to happen if nobody was on a frequency and nobody was spotted. Can you imagine they're spinning the dial all day long hunting for somebody? The spotting page is a blessing for each and every one of us, and you as a hunter can really help the activators. A happy activator is one who's in a pile up, and a pile up, and a pile up, and they can't go pee because they're in a pile up, and they won't go pee because they're in a pile up until they say, I gotta go. But you can create that. May God bless November Charlie 4 X-Ray Lima. What a way to end a video if anybody got down this far. Gotta go pee, gotta go. NC4XL North Carolina for extreme lovers, and I'm not. Just darling old man. May God bless one and all.